Welcome and thank you for attending this webinar with Fullscript and Katie Costa, the Wellness Marketer. My name is Rachel and I'm part of the marketing team at Fullscript, and we are very excited to have Katie here today to discuss how to find ideal clients on Instagram to fill your practice. Before we get into the presentation, I want to go through a little housekeeping first. So just a reminder that this recording will be sent to everyone who registered. So if you have to leave early or just want to watch it again, you will have access directly from your inbox. The recording will also live on Fullscript's website at www.fullscript.com/webinars, where you can access all of our past and upcoming webinars as well. Throughout the webinar, if you have any questions, please add them to the questions section on your GoToWebinar dashboard, and we will get to them during the question and answer period at the end. So again, I'd like to thank Katie for being here today. Katie, founder and CEO of The Wellness Marketer, is a nutritional scientist and marketing professional who helps holistic practitioners and wellpreneurs grow their business online using holistic marketing strategies. She believes that there's a science to health and there's a science to marketing it. Katie has a Master of Science in Human Health and Nutritional Science and has been working with health practitioners and wellness businesses for the last 3 years to help them establish businesses, grow on Instagram, and finally gain the confidence and know-how to market themselves online. She is also the host of the Wellness Marketer podcast and creator of 0 to 1000, a 12-week holistic marketing program for wellness professionals. And with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Katie to take it away and rejoin you closer to the end of the presentation for a live.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I'm just going to make sure that I am set up properly here. Awesome. Okay, so thank you so much for that introduction, Rachel. As mentioned, my name is Katie Costa, aka the Wellness Marketer. I'll introduce myself in a little bit, but otherwise we are going to hop to it. So before we get going with the content, I want to make sure that you are in the right place. So you're in the right place today if you want to break through the beliefs that have been holding you back from showing up online the way that you want to. If you're looking to gain clarity in how to streamline your marketing and how to start seeing meaningful results on Instagram. And if you are ready to increase your income by attracting new clients and patients every single month online. This webinar is for health practitioners like NDs or nutritionists who want to attract the right patients to their practice using social media, for wellness pros who are ready to establish their brands and start working with clients ASAP, and for any kind of service provider or service-based business owner who wants to just feel way more confident marketing yourself on Instagram. So in the next 30 minutes, we are going to cover understanding who your ideal client is and how they behave on Instagram. We're also going to talk about how to develop a content strategy to attract your ideal clients to you online and turn them into lifelong clients, even if you have a small audience. And we're also going to be talking about how to engage with new and existing followers to build the know, like, and trust factor without feeling like a sleazy salesman. So I'm going to ask a little bit of questions. I want to hear from you guys if any of these sound like you, if they resonate with you. We're going to call them A, B, C, D, E, and F. So comment any of the letters if these apply to you or they resonate with you. So even though you spent years in school preparing for practice, you're confused by what to do online that will generate the results that you're looking for. So maybe you don't do much at all. You get that fear paralysis. Comment A if that one resonates with you. Maybe you've been practicing for a while, but you have yet to build an Insta audience of people who are willing to actually pay for your services. We get lots of freeloaders in the DMs, but we need those people who are going to pay for it. Comment B if you've experienced that. Maybe you're tired of posting on Instagram and getting next to no engagement, even though you think your content is perfect. We've all been there, especially with algorithm updates. It can feel super hard to get engagement. Comment C if that resonates with you. D, are you frustrated by the rules and regulations around marketing your practice and you're scared of what will happen if you're caught breaking the rules? Maybe you wonder how people have time to see clients, post on Instagram, run programs, and still have a life outside of work. Let me know with an E if that one resonates with you. Or maybe you're just insecure about marketing your practice, so you never talk about your products and services online because you don't want to be that guy that is just promoting yourself endlessly and making people cringe and unfollow you. It's totally valid. Let me know what you guys think about those if you can relate, because honestly, I have definitely been there. My clients have been there. And I have great news for you though. If you struggle with these problems, they're not actually real problems and it can be really easily solved, because these are just symptoms of the bigger problem of having an unclear or an ineffective marketing strategy, or worse, no strategy at all. So once you do have a legit marketing strategy that is clear, that is aligned with who your ideal client is and what your zone of genius is, then you'll be able to spend less time on your marketing while creating a steady stream of leads. You'll feel clarity and confidence every time you show up online. You'll be able to build a brand that attracts your ideal clients. And be able to keep your clients and patients coming back for more, aka booking in again and again, because that is the result of really good marketing. Not always shopping for new clients and patients, but how do we get to turn those core followers, those key people, into lifelong clients? And you can do that with a really great marketing strategy. So a little bit more about me and how this came to be before I dive into the good stuff that you guys came here for today. So my name is Katie, aka the Wellness Marketer. I have a background in health sciences. So I went to the University of Guelph in Ontario, Canada, and I did my undergrad in nutritional and nutraceutical science and my master's in human health and nutrition. I've basically been helping healthcare professionals and small businesses over the last 3 years, helping them with their online presence, helping them market their businesses and basically grow their revenues. I'm also the creator of the Holistic Marketing Academy. So we actually updated 0 to 1000 to be the Holistic Marketing Academy, which is my signature program. And my clients have achieved wins from passively booking patients with their marketing, to selling out their programs, to launching international book deals. So I have just been so honored to work with incredible people. And my specialty is really helping health and wellness professionals, people who are health science trained just like myself, grow their businesses through learning those foundational business and marketing skills that are going to help you grow your business so that you can heal the world and make more money doing it. So let's talk about why Instagram is so effective. There's 3 main reasons. Number 1 is the visibility aspect. So you get to reach people all over the world with the click of a button. And the fact is that there are both free strategies and paid strategies for being seen online. So honestly, it just provides so much visibility opportunity. It's insane. Reason number 2 is that you get to build an incredible community. So your followers can be nurtured into raving fans who ultimately not only book with you, but end up promoting your business for you. So your followers are basically a pool of prospects, and you have the ability to build this community for free on Instagram. And the last reason that's so dang effective is that you can make sales. You can make sales so easily on Instagram because people shop for products and services on Instagram all day long. And so it's the perfect place to showcase your offer and attract more clients. So let's dive into the first part of this training, understanding your ideal client and how they behave on Instagram. So your ideal client avatar, or your ICA, you might hear me refer to it as that from here on out, is the person who is a perfect fit for your products and your services. It can also be defined as like a group of people, so like a subcategory, or like maybe you've heard people describe this as a niche or a niche. But it's kind of the same idea, and it's the group of people that you are really trying to reach with your marketing, and the group of people that are going to experience just the best results from what you have to offer. And understanding who your ICA is a necessary step in effective marketing. So even though I say who your ICA is, we kind of talk about them as one person, like yeah, who they are, but know that we are referring to a group of people who would like meet this criteria and therefore all be perfect people to potentially work with you. And specifically, what we want to understand about our ideal client is really understanding the problems or the struggles that they experience in their everyday life in relation to what you do as a practitioner. But those real life problems, struggles, and pain points, that is going to be the opportunity for you to connect with them and ultimately sell them on what you do. So most people, where they go wrong with most people will try to market their business without ever thinking about, who they are selling to and why they would even want to hire you in the first place. So this is like the groundwork before you do your marketing. And when you understand your ICA, you can then write really great posts that speak to them, posts that solve their problems, that inspire them, and ultimately it's going to motivate them to take action. Maybe you've heard this quote before on the internet, but if you speak to everyone or try to speak to everyone, you will end up speaking to no one. And this is exactly why understanding your ideal client is so important. And because Instagram is a super crowded marketplace today, there is still tons of opportunity to get on there, promote your business, and grow your community. But the fact is, there's a lot of people. And so if you are not delivering a targeted message to a group of people, then it's gonna be really hard, to out advertise or to outpost all of these bigger brands who are already doing mass marketing to these people. So moral of the story, the more that you understand who your ideal client is, the more directly you can speak to them, and then therefore the more effective that your Instagram and all of your marketing is going to be. And then I just want to let you guys know quickly, I can't see any questions or anything popping up in the chat, but Rachel said she's going to keep track of those. So feel free as questions come up to put them down, and then Rachel will address them all at the end of the presentation. So now I want to walk you guys through some reflection questions that you can ask to understand your ICA, and I'll make sure that you guys all have access to the slides. So if there's anything like that's on slides, don't worry about scrambling to write it down. However, if there's anything that I'm saying that's not on the slides, you'll want to write that down or make sure you watch the replay, because I tend to leave a lot of golden nuggets, they just come out of my head and they're not on the page. But these are reflection questions that you can ask yourself and journal on to start to uncover who that ICA really is for you. So let's go through some of them. Firstly, does your ideal client fall within an age range, or do they identify as a specific gender? You want to ask yourself, is that important for what I'm doing? It's going to dictate how you speak to people. You would not post on Instagram if you're speaking to a 17-year-old versus a 45-year-old. Your approach in the type of content you're posting is going to be way different. Do they live in a specific geographic area? Is location, a factor when working with you? What are their health or lifestyle concerns? How do they feel about these concerns? Emotions are so important. What does a day in the life of your ideal client look like? What do they do from when they wake up to when they go to bed? What keeps them up at night? Like seriously, what are the struggles going through their mind? Why can't they sleep? Maybe they can't sleep because of some sort of hormonal imbalance or heartburn, or maybe it's something psychological, right? What is the transformation that they are desperate to experience? This is like the money question. This is like where marketers go to heaven, because when you can understand what they want at their core, what your ideal client really wants to experience more than anything else, that is all of the fuel that you need for your marketing. And last but not least, what have they tried before that just didn't work? This will also get you or have them feeling like you're starting to read their mind. But that's the whole point of this. We want to get as engrossed into our ideal client avatar as we possibly can, because the more we understand about them, the better marketing that we can do. And the better marketing really just means that the people we're trying to reach, like they are picking up what we are putting down, and they are just taking action on it. And because you're speaking directly to them, that will help people take action. So now that we have a better idea as to who your ideal client might be, the next thing we want to understand is, how do these people behave online? And since we're talking about Instagram today, I really want to focus on Instagram. So once we know who we're looking for, we can start to do research on those people and say, okay, what do you do online? Who do you follow? What kinds of content do you post, but also what kinds of things do you share onto your stories? What do you think is funny? You can find out what hashtags do they follow and what content do they currently like, comment, and engage with. Because when you know these things, this will help shape your strategy, because you can cater to your audience and you have a better understanding of what they're consuming, what they enjoy, how they behave, so that you can mimic their behaviors. Traditional marketing and online marketing are actually very similar. So just like if you were doing traditional marketing, you want to know what kind of, like, I'm thinking of like putting a flyer up in a bar, right? Think about putting a flyer up in a bar compared to putting a post up on social media. You want to know what kind of bars your ideal clients are going into, so that you can put your flyers in the right types of bars. And this is the exact, it's the exact same thing, just in a virtual, it's just a virtual way. It's the new way of the world, the new way of marketing. But I hope that, you can then draw the comparison of why it's so important to not just put the post up, not just put the flyer up, but to actually be really considerate, really strategic about where it's going, what's going on the flyer, and all of that. And I want to also call out that, looking at what your ideal clients are doing, engaging what they're doing, figuring out what they're interested in, that's not like a one and done thing. So it's normal to be constantly learning and refining, researching your audience, so that you can always make the next best decision. So for an example, like when Instagram Reels came out, it completely transformed the way that people were behaving on Instagram. And therefore, I spent a lot of time back in that research phase to understand how my audience was behaving. And then I could then pivot my strategy so that I could capitalize on this new trends. Okay, so now that we know who your ideal client is and how they can behave online, we can now start getting into, so what do we do? What do I actually do on Instagram? What do I do on social media? There are two things that I want you to do. Number one is post consistently. We need you to post consistently if you want to see consistent growth, engagement, and sales on Instagram. Notice how I didn't say every day. I don't need you to post every single day, but what I do need is the consistency. So even if it's just 2 times a week for now, can we get you posting twice a week, every week, and then we'll work up to 3, 4, maybe 5 times, but you don't need it. But anyways, posting consistently and engaging with your audience. These are the 2 next things that we're going to do, and these are the next 2 sections of the webinar. So diving into step number 2, we are going to talk about developing a content strategy to attract your ideal clients and turn them into lifelong clients, even if you have a small audience. So what you post on Instagram or on the internet in general, it has the power to do a lot of things. It has the power to position you as an expert. It has the power to attract your dream clients to your brand. It has the power to help your prospects and clients for free. I literally have had 2 people message me in my DMs, 2 followers who haven't taken any of my paid programming, who messaged me saying that they actually got multiple new clients from Instagram over the last couple weeks, just from the free Insta Sales Challenge that I had hosted, which is like an incredible feeling, because that's really what we're all doing, especially as health practitioners. You guys are helpers, and so your free content really has the ability to impact people's life as well, which I think is just an incredible side effect of promoting yourself on Instagram. You can convert followers into lifelong clients, build community online, and so much more. But your content strategy, important to note, Your content strategy will always be weak if you don't fully understand your ICA, hence leading with that and not leading with posting. Most people want to jump into posting, but I really want to recommend and suggest to you guys that you do that work on your ICA first. So weak content doesn't have anything to do with your ICA. What does good content do? How do we do this well? So firstly, I already mentioned this verbally, but you don't have to post 10 times a week to have a great content strategy. Really good content is just about connecting with your audience. So how can you connect with them? You have to understand them first. And you want to share that good content with consistency. So good content that attracts your ideal client either solves a problem for them, because we all want our problems solved. And unless you're like, I don't know why LeBron James came to my mind. I was actually thinking about Glennon Doyle first. But I was like, unless you're like a celebrity, unless you're like LeBron James, unless you're like Glennon Doyle and people already like are dying to hear what you have to say and learn from you, you're gonna have to give your audience a reason to come hang out with you on your page. So good content is going to either solve a problem for your ideal client or trigger an emotional response. So that is like inspiring people, making them laugh, entertaining them. But good content makes you feel something, and that's the difference between content that people just scroll past versus content that actually makes people want to reach out to you and work with you. So I want you to keep those two things in mind when it comes to good content. Solves a problem or triggers an emotional response. So let's get into what should you actually post? How do we design this content strategy? So I want to first introduce you guys to the VP-VP method. And now the VP-VP method is a format for basically categorizing your posts and coming up with a framework to make sure that you're basically doing all of the things that you should be doing on Instagram when it comes to posting. So each post has a purpose. Every time that you go to publish something on Instagram, when you have a business, right? If you're just running an Instagram for personal, then you're just capturing memories and moments and sharing your awesome experiences. But when you're posting on Instagram for business, each post has a purpose. And the purposes are the VP-VP method. So there's 4 categories that these really fall into. Number 1 is the viral category. So this is what most people think of when they think of social media marketing. These are like your trendy posts, your shareable posts, anything that could go viral. So, and basically anything that could go viral is going to be anything that's highly shareable. So for example, posts like infographics, we've seen the rise of reels obviously going viral. Quotes, memes, think about what people like share onto their Instagram stories, because if something is getting shared a lot onto stories, that's a sign that it is going to go viral, or the purpose is virality. So that is one of the core ways that if you are a small, if you're a small business, one of the main ways that you can get more followers from Instagram in 2021 is posting more of that viral, share-worthy content. It's how you get in front of new people. So creating content with the intention that I'm creating this so that it gets shared, so that it maybe goes viral, that's the intention behind the V. Then we move on to promotional. So promotional is anything that's going to sell you or sell your services. So this would be like a straight post about booking a consultation, maybe sharing an awesome testimonial or client review, a sale that you're doing. But this is like your full permission to promote yourself and promote your business. That way you also know you can show up and sell with confidence the times that you are showing up with a promotional post, because you're not going over the top and selling everything to everyone every single day. It's 1 out of every 4 posts. So the next V, the next category is value. And the purpose of these posts are to connect with your audience, teach them new information, help them solve that problem, but it's essentially helping them in some sort of valuable way. And the last P, which is personal, which is so important. If you are an individual running your business and yeah, you're like a one-person show, operating your Instagram, doing the marketing, working with the clients, doing all the things, then you definitely want to give people the opportunity to connect with you before they work with you, because of course once people meet you and they work with you in your practice, then they know who you are. But we want to give your followers the opportunity to fall in love with you as well. So sharing personal stories, and it doesn't have to be like super personal, like it can be in the context of your business. You don't have to tell them about like your, you know, what keeps you up at night and like your biggest fears, unless it's something that they can relate to, in which case that would actually be a really good post idea. But sharing personal posts is anything that's going to connect them to you. It could be like how you started your business, your favorite like supplements, or you know, your favorite anything, a personal story, anything to get them to know the person behind the business a little bit more. So that was part one, the VP method. And now I want to talk about part two, which is the content theme method. And both of these work together to really create a robust content strategy for you, so that you know, not only am I sharing content that my audience is going to enjoy, but this is also content that's going to help convert my followers into clients. So once we have VP, we can look at the content themes that you are going to talk about. And now VP, you know, it is what it is. It doesn't change for the individual. You'll all use VP, but your content themes is what will be personalized to you. So I would highly suggest choosing 2 to 3 different content themes or topics that you are going to talk about on your page. You're going to create posts that fall into the VP category, but we want to have a topic or a grouping. And so there are 2 criteria for choosing content themes and doing this really, really well. Number 1 is that the theme needs to relate to your work. So for example, thyroid healing. If you're a naturopathic doctor who focuses on thyroid healing, or you know, like thyroid issues, then natural thyroid healing makes sense to be a content theme. And the second category is that it must be of interest to your ideal client. And things that are of interest to your ideal clients are having their problem solved, getting more of what they want, or having that like emotional response. So we want to make sure that we hit both of those elements. So for example, natural thyroid healing, if you're a thyroid healing naturopath, then 1, yes, that does relate to your work. And if your ideal clients struggle with managing their thyroid symptoms or thyroid condition, then they are also going to be interested in that content themes. I didn't realize I actually had put 2 thyroid related examples here. Can you tell I work with a thyroid client? So here's some examples of what content themes might look like. So we have like AIP recipes, autoimmune paleo recipes. For example, that would be great for a thyroid healing doctor. That could be 2 out of the 3 of your content themes. And maybe you also choose another content theme of like postpartum support, or like new moms support, or just, you know, motherhood in general. I know it's like that's a really broad topic. We don't want these to be too broad, but the fact is that when you can have like a third content bucket or category that's not necessarily related to the work that you do, like it can kind of be related. But for example, like this client that I'm thinking of right now that is a thyroid healing naturopathic doctor, she is a mom, she has a young family, and she is probably going to connect with other ideal clients who are new moms, and she can really support them in that way. So if she were to add a third content theme about like motherhood or moms of Instagram, then that is also going to give her ideal clients something to bond with her about online, and you're going to start to build that relationship, and it doesn't have to be 100% about work all the time. And I hope that is clear for you guys, because so essentially you want it to be a mix of what you do for work and have your ideal clients be interested. And you can also mix some personal interests as well if you see that it would be strategic and valuable to your business, like the example that I just described for you right now. Other examples could be like home workouts, Instagram tips, yeah, like things like that. So just really overall themes to your content. So now that we know as well, what are we going to post? We have the VP method. Then we're going to think about our content themes. And what's going to happen is you are going to brainstorm post ideas with your content themes and put them into these 4 categories. So you can even make a little chart like this: viral, promotional, value, and personal, and brainstorm ideas using the themes of what are the next posts that you're going to put up. And newsflash, if you are only posting 2 to 3 times a week, all you need is to come up with 2 to 3 ideas in each of these 4 squares, and you've already planned your Instagram content for the month. And you could literally do that in 5 to 10 minutes. I'm serious. So now that you know what you're going to post, let's talk about what actually makes an Instagram post good. There are 5 things that I know every good Instagram post needs, especially if you want to see that maximum engagement from your audience. So what's a good post? Number 1, an on-brand photo, on brand and high quality. It's 2021. We cannot do the blurry photos on Instagram anymore. We should not really be posting stock photos. You can if you want a little bit, but I would recommend posting your own photos, sharing yourself wherever possible, or sharing branded graphics that you can really easily create using Canva. Number 2 is a hook statement. So getting people hooked into what you're saying online is honestly half the battle. Think about Instagram, right? And like the scroll, the infinite scroll that is Instagram. If you don't catch their attention in the first second, they're scrolling away, they are gone. So the first sentence of your caption is like the most important sentence when it comes to keeping people around, getting them to engage, read, take action on your post. Number 3 is an engaging caption, and that can only work if you have a good hook statement, right? Because if they don't read that hook statement and click see more, because Instagram collapsed captions, I should have put an example here for you guys, but they actually have to click see more on Instagram to read your caption. So you can write the best caption in the world, but if you don't have a good hook, they're never going to see it. Number 4, effective hashtags. You should be putting hashtags on every single post. I actually do have a free hashtag training, so Rachel, remind me about that, and maybe I can get the link. I can link that as well because it's pre-recorded and you guys would probably love it. And number 5, the last one, is a CTA, otherwise known as a call to action. So every single post that you share on Instagram, if you want it to be the cream of the crop Instagram post, you gotta put a call to action on there. And let's talk a little bit more about that, because this is like arguably the most important part of Instagram marketing, and making sure, or not making sure, but increasing the chance, increasing the number of followers who actually turn into paying clients and patients. We need the calls to action. So if you don't have a CTA, it's literally almost impossible to make sales. Like, just let that sink in. So maybe your Instagram strategy isn't even broken. You just haven't really been inviting people to do what you want them to do. So the call to action, in its simplest form, is really just a direct invitation to the next thing, the next step that you want your audience to take. So it's like asking them to download your freebie, or to message you if they're interested in working with you, or I'm like blanking on all the examples of different calls to actions that you could use, but you could invite them to just comment on your post. But the reason this works is because this is part of human psychology. We like to do as we're told, and we are actually just more likely to do something when asked. And so the same goes in your marketing and towards your audience. You're more likely to get the result that you're looking for, whether that is increased engagement or new clients, when you actually put that out there. So I wanted to include some examples, some real life examples for you guys. I didn't realize how small they are now, but I can read them, so I will read them out to you. This is a screenshot of one of my clients' posts, a promotional post from the VPVP method. They shared a really sweet testimonial that they got from a client, and she wrote this awesome caption about it. And right at the end, she says, DM me if you're interested in more info on my program and what it would look like to work with me. That part specifically is the CTA, because she could have just posted this testimonial, had, written this nice thing about her client and, called it a day. And that's what most people do. Most people, they get to third base. That's my baseball bat. They get pitched, they get to third base, and then they don't bring it home. And bringing it home is like adding the call to action on to your posts. I have another client, a yoga teacher, and her call to action here was join us for our next free pelvic health yoga class at 4 p.m. on blah, 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 to use your magical power to heal yourself. And then she tells you how you can get it. Go to the link in my bio, get on the email list. Very clear call to action. And the last one is actually me from last week on my Instagram stories. And I was promoting my free marketing assessment calls. And I think I had it cut off there, but I had a little flashing GIF that was like the links in my bio. Or no, it was DM me, duh. So I got them to DM me. And then I actually did have 3 of those calls booked into my calendar. So it doesn't have to be overly complex, but just putting the, actually giving them that invitation and letting them know what is that next step, that is going to really help you with your content. So one thing I wanted to address briefly before moving on, because there's so much, if you're not already taking a ton of notes, there's still so much more to cover. But I want to talk about the content formats quickly, because there's so many places that you can post on Instagram. So I'm sure there's a couple of you thinking, okay, I hear you with all these post ideas and what goes in the post, but where do I actually post and how do I know where to post? So this is an example. This is a feed post, this is a reel, and this is an Instagram story, okay? They all relatively look the same. And while there are nuances between them, what I wanted to really just highlight here is that all of your content, great content, it doesn't really matter the format that it's being presented in, because you can always manipulate it and repurpose it to be in another format and then share that again. So I do teach the repurposing strategy inside of Holistic Marketing Academy, because I'm a bit of a lazy marketer vibe. Like, why I do not need to be sitting on a content treadmill producing brand new content every single day for all these different content types. Like, I have a business to run and I have other things to do, and I'm sure you do as well, especially if you're wearing all the hats still in your business. So moral of the story, you don't post on stories Monday through Friday. I just want you guys to do that. If you want to take your Instagram to the next level and you want to really build relationships with your audience and you want to see them turn into lifelong clients, start showing up on stories every single day. And that literally only takes 15 minutes of your time. It doesn't have to be anything insane. If you're struggling with that, then you definitely want to DM me or wait to hear more about Holistic Marketing Academy, because it will definitely help you. But showing up daily on stories, and then 2 to 3 times in your feed, and that can be a feed post, a reel, a video, IGTV. As long as you can start showing up with that basic level of consistency, it doesn't really matter what format you're posting in, but mix it up 2 to 3 times a week in your feed, Monday to Friday on stories. And like I said, it doesn't have to be rocket science. Let's just get you showing up with that consistency. So that covers our content strategy. Again, let me know any questions that you have about that, and I will be happy to field them at the end of the presentation. The last section of this webinar, so now that we know who is our ideal client, what the heck are we posting on Instagram, now How do we engage with our community, with our new and existing followers to build the know, like, and trust factor? I want to share a little bit more about social media, this very robust, complicated formula that social interaction plus digital media equals social media. Social media. Do you guys get it? AKA, there is more to social media than what you post. There's got to be the social interaction piece. And that is exactly why you might be thinking, like, why are we even like jumping to engagement? Why are we talking about this? Why do I have to sit there and talk to people? Well, because that's the purpose of social media. And before social media, marketing was a one-way conversation. It was companies talking to consumers, and that was it. But social media, why it's so, like, reason number 543 as to why social media is so powerful is because it's opened up the dialogue between business owners and consumers, and just really facilitated this opportunity for engagement and for a relationship to form. But because it's a dialogue and it's that two-way conversation, like, social media requires social interaction. I want you to think about, if you were having a one-sided conversation with someone in person, I love my in-person examples, the conversation would not last very long. Like, have you ever been there, done that, when you're like talking to someone and they just will not stop talking about themselves? And you're like, can I speak? And that is what's happening when businesses are just out here posting on social media and not spending any time to open up the dialogue the other way. So the conversation is not going to last long, just like in person. If like you would talk to them for a few minutes to like be polite and then excuse yourself and run away. And that's what's going to happen online if you don't engage with your audience. So these kinds of social interactions, so this includes liking posts, commenting on posts, getting comments on your posts, having conversations in the DM with people, people sharing content to their Instagram stories. All of these little interactions are also called engagement. And social engagement will build the relationship that you're looking for with your audience and lead to more sales. So if you want more sales from Instagram, need you working on those relationships with people, which is ultimately the easiest way to do that is by engaging. It's literally by being social. This is digital networking at its finest. And there actually really is like an art to doing this well, and it truly does work. And I have been able to like essentially completely, I wanted to say fund my business, like fund my lead pool. All of my lead generation has come from organic Instagram marketing over the last 12 months. Like 90% of my leads have come from organic Instagram marketing, from posting and engaging with people using the strategies that I'm about to teach you today. Whoa, zoom and past. Okay. So we talked about how social media used to be one way, now it's an open dialogue, so we get what engagement is, but I want to also highlight why engagement is so important as a service provider in the online space, okay? Couple reasons. Number one, the know, like, and trust factor, also called KLT. You're going to hear me refer to it as that from now on, which is what I titled this section. And it's because people book with or buy from people that they know, like, and trust. The KLT factor is a very common marketing thing, but engaging with others in a genuine way, okay? This is not just scrolling through your feed and leaving like a heart eyes emoji underneath someone's post. That's not genuine engagement. When you do engage in a genuine way, you will build that KLT factor, and they will be more likely to take action when seeing your posts. Reason number two is that you stay top of mind. People remember who they see and they forget who they don't see. So when you can engage with your audience, because with Instagram, they get notifications, right? You get a notification if you comment on their post, reply to their comment on your post, like their comment on your post, message them, they get a notification. they get a notification and they see your name come up. And so this is a way for you to be seen, to be visible on Instagram for free, and also nurture the people like who are getting really close to working with you. So engaging with people, they're gonna see your name, you're gonna stay top of mind. And yeah, honestly, engaging will help you stay top of mind without having to post every single day. But I do want to preface, I wrote this down here, if you only have time to do like one thing that day, then posting will go farther than like a little engagement spree. But if you have time for both, do both. And really, you should be batching your content anyways and posting it and scheduling it to post it. And if you don't know about batching your content, then that's really just the idea where you sit down to create a handful of posts and then you schedule them out using an auto posting tool. And we can field more questions about that if you have them as well. So anyways, why is it so important? 1, builds KLT factor, and 2, stay top of mind. Number 3 is that you actually get to trick the algorithm a little bit. So the algorithm, I see so many people hating on the algorithm. Don't hate on it. It's here to help you. Really, what the algorithm is doing is it just wants to show you the content that you are most likely to engage with. And it prioritizes posts from people who it thinks the algorithm are your family and friends, aka who are the most important accounts to this individual. And those are the posts and the content that I'm going to show them first. So by actively engaging with your ideal clients, you're actually building a digital relationship with them, and you're kind of tricking the algorithm into thinking that, hey, I am friends with this person, even though they're not, and Instagram's gonna think that you're friends and then show your posts to that person and more people like that person. So 3 solid reasons why you should be doing engagement. And let me tell you, these things actually work. I have a way higher engagement rate than I should. And I'm telling you, like I should based on what my numbers are and what the average engagement rates are for businesses on Instagram. And let me tell you, engaging with my audience, I am like 9 out of 10 sure has been one of the most influential things for keeping my engagement so high, no matter what the algorithm updates may or may not be. So let's talk a little bit about how you can do your own engagement. I teach something called the 10-10-10 rule as part of the Instagram Power Hour, which is another concept that I teach in my program, Holistic Marketing Academy. And I suggest doing the 10-10-10 rule every single day. So we want to follow, what is the 10-10-10 rule? Firstly, follow 10 new people who could be your ideal clients. 2, leave 10 genuine comments on posts. And now this can be on posts of like your current followers, or this could be potential new followers by going into posts from either hashtags that you're following or hashtags that your ideal clients might be looking at. So for example, a lot of my ideal clients are hashtag naturopathic doctors. So I would maybe go into that hashtag and spend some time commenting and engaging with people who post in that hashtag. Follow 10 new people, leave 10 genuine comments, and the last one is start 10 conversations in your DMs. And this one is like arguably the most impactful part of the 10-10-10 rule, because those conversations are, again, like they're private conversations as opposed to just following people or leaving a public comment. And you really have the space to, keep that conversation going and to start building that relationship with someone. And the easiest way to start a conversation is by replying to people's Instagram stories, because those stories just go right to their DMs. And so boom, you just reply to someone's post, reply in a genuine way, to something that you actually find interesting. And all of a sudden you're in your ideal client DMs and you're able to talk to them in a one-on-one capacity. And I'm telling you, I've had so many people who I have just started out conversations with them in the DMs, and over time they end up becoming paying clients. It's almost like clockwork. So doing these activities, especially when you can get to doing them every single day, these activities will start a hive of engagement on your account. Okay, so you're going to start to feel that buzz and the energy of people talking about you and talking to you and commenting on your stuff, but you have to commit to doing the work every single day as well. So the more that you comment, share posts, and DM people, the more engagement that you will see back. And I want you to make a point of engaging with both new and existing followers. So sometimes I'll like send more than 10 comments out so that I can like cover my bases, because once you get those followers and you attract them in, you really do want to nurture them. So I find that starting the DM conversations is like easiest when I'm, obviously for people's stories to come up on your page, you need to be following them. So I find it's easiest to leave comments and follow new people and then start these conversations with existing people. And then I just love up on my feed as much as I can. So little engagement tip for you. I want to show you guys where to find the people to engage with. So first things first, if you're looking for new people that are like your ideal clients, you want to go to the profile of someone who's your ideal client. This is one of my Epic students, and you can see there's a little button right beside message. Some people have it, some people don't because they've had it turned off. But when you click on this arrow, it's going to show this suggested for you section. And then based on this account, who is already one of my paying students, it's going to show all of these people who are similar to this person. So therefore, you have a whole new pool of potential leads to engage with, follow, start combos with these people. If you go into the people that you are following, you can then see this little category, this fancy little category called least interacted with, and it will show you the 50 accounts that you follow that you have spent the least time interacting with. And so that's a great tool, a great place to restart the relationship with people that you probably already have in your community. So the last place I'm going to show you is hashtags. I follow hashtags. I highly recommend following hashtags that your ideal clients are following. So here's some example of the hashtags that I follow. And when you go into following, see how you can click on this least interacted with. You could also click on hashtags here, and then you'll see a list of all of the tags that you're following. And then you can see there's thousands of posts in each of these. So there is no shortage of posts or people that I can connect with online. And same goes for you. So we're running a little short on time here, coming up on the end. So I just wanted to give you a quick run through that in this presentation. I promised that we would, go through your ideal client and I would help you understand how to dissect that, how they behave on Instagram, how to develop a content strategy to attract your ideal clients and turn them into lifelong clients, and how to engage with new and existing followers to build the know, like, and trust factor. So in summary, your ideal client is all about understanding the problems that they face and how your product or service can really help them achieve that transformation that they're looking for. You want to use the VPVP method and the content themes to create a posting framework that will excite your audience. And also spend 30 minutes to 1 hour a day engaging with your audience using the 10-10-10 rule as a reference. So if you haven't already been submitting your questions, we are going to cover them at the end. And I just have a few more slides for you guys, because if you are serious about this, there's still quite a few of you here. If you're serious about using Instagram to consistently attract people to your business every single month online without spending a ton of money on paid ads, then I can really help you do that. I have some options for you. And so think about your questions, put them in the chat. We're going to answer them at the end. But I just wanted to talk about a couple of the reasons why healthcare pros even stay stuck in the first place. Because let me tell you, I've worked with almost 100 health practitioners, And most of them are either too nervous to put their authentic selves out there out of fear of looking unprofessional. They can't articulate their transformational product or service, so no one knows what the heck they're selling or how good it actually is. And there's a lack of consistency with the marketing, and you're not showing up enough. And that's exactly why I created Holistic Marketing Academy, which is my signature program for health pros. So imagine knowing what to do to grow your business online and to reach your business goals using Instagram. So my self-paced program, I designed specifically for health practitioners or service-based business owners who want to launch online offers and attract clients every single month using Instagram. And it really doesn't have to be rocket science. It is not rocket science at all, actually. It's actually quite simple when you follow a set of steps. And in this program, you're also going to learn other necessary online skills like DIY graphic design, how to do your own website and landing pages, email marketing and automations. It's honestly incredible. And get ready to, like, if you are a student inside of HMA, get ready to know exactly what you should be doing every single day, every week, and every month in a way that's going to attract your clients. It's going to attract your clients in a way that feels good for you, because that's what holistic marketing is all about. It's how do we create a marketing system for your business that's not going to take up all of your time, because I get it, like, you're running a whole business, and when you are the health practitioner and the marketer and the admin and the finance coordinator, then you don't have, unlimited hours a week to work on your marketing. You're also going to be able to show up and confidently sell your services to your small but growing audience, and have a clear process for growth and engagement on Instagram, plus have your email list and automation set up so you can book clients while you're sleeping. And I wanted to let you know about a really incredible opportunity. This is a promotion that I'm doing online on social media right now, and it actually ends today, but I still wanted to share it with you guys in this webinar in case there's any of you interested and who really love this presentation and would love to work with me. So right now, when you sign up for Holistic Marketing Academy, you actually get my new program, Double Your Instagram Sales, absolutely free, which is insane. So this is a 6-week program to learn how to 2 times your influence and revenue on Instagram in just 6 weeks. Our first group coaching call for the Double Your Instagram Sales program is actually tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, but I decided that I'm going to honor this for you guys up until next week. So for your next steps, if you are either interested in Holistic Marketing Academy, if you just want to connect with me more to see what you can do marketing wise to help you reach your business goals, then I would love to invite you to book a free marketing assessment call with me. So I do have a limited number that I can take every single week. But if you get in there quickly, then maybe you can get the spots for this week and next week, because like I said, I will honor that the free program, so the 2-in-1 program deal with Holistic Marketing Academy and Double Your Instagram Sales, up to next week with you guys, if you just want to chat with me more to make sure that it's right for you. But on this free call, we'll discuss specifically like your business, what's going on in your business, what are your business goals, where are your marketing gaps? So I'll help you identify those as well, and also walk you through like what can you do to get you closer to those business goals with the marketing that is available to you and accessible to you, because no one wants to spend all week and thousands of dollars a month marketing their business online, and I don't want that for you either. So I'm pretty crafty when it comes to marketing and making it work. So book that, thewellnessmarketer.ca/assessment, and book your free marketing assessment with me. You've got nothing to lose, and then we can also chat about whether or not those programs are a good fit for you. And lastly, follow me on Instagram. Let me know you are here. It's been such a pleasure to teach you guys. You can follow me at The Wellness Marketer. I'm going to answer some questions now. Rachel, let me know. How do I do this?
Perfect. Hi, thanks so much. Yeah, so thank you, Katie, for that amazing presentation. I know we had quite a few questions come through, so we have a bit of time to get through as many as we can here. Okay, so I'm just going to start, I guess, asking a couple of these questions.
Yeah.
So the first question is, are there private groups on Instagram similar to on Facebook?
So there are private chats, so you can create, yeah, like a private group chat, but there are not groups where you can like sort the posts per se.
Okay, perfect. When there's a disconnect between what they want, and then in brackets, lose weight, better digestion, better sleep, for example, but aren't to a point yet where they're actually willing to make the necessary lifestyle changes to get to that point, how do you address that?
Yeah, well, that sounds like them want like it's like them acknowledging the problem but not being ready to change. Am I like interpreting that right based on the question?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, part of that is honestly shifting their beliefs. So a lot of marketing is like meeting people, like meeting your clients where they're at. So maybe where they're at, yeah, is like they know they need to make a change. They know what's wrong, but for whatever reason, they just haven't been able to make that commitment. And it's like asking yourself why, right? Again, like trying to put yourself in their shoes. And then basically what your job is with marketing is to get them from where they're at to where you want them to be, which is working with you. So you have to kind of understand your client's journey and like what are the apprehensions for making the lifestyle changes, and then how can you create content that's going to overcome those objections so that they are then ready to work with you. Does that make sense?
Perfect. Okay, next question. How do you do research on your ICA? How do you find out who they are out of the sea of people on Instagram or out there? Yeah.
So I would, and yeah, and if I'm answering people's questions and they're still here and I didn't answer it right, feel free to ask a follow-up question if we have time to get to it. So doing research. Okay, so firstly, if you have an existing business, that's my first question I'd like to know. If you've worked with people in the past, like yeah, even if you've had a handful of clients, I want you to ask yourself like what makes these people unique? What do they have in common? And a lot of the times it's just understanding what are those common threads that your clients have, that and those common threads will start to form your ICA. And then from there you can ask people who meet that like requirement. So like let's say like okay, I'm primarily working with health practitioners who are between this age and this age and like have don't have a website, they're just starting out, right? Like just a very loose idea of who that might be. Then I'll be able, okay, hold on. Something happened. Am I okay?
Yeah, no, I just had to close that out. I had a little issue, but perfect. We're good. Yeah. Okay.
No worries.
No.
Okay, what was I saying? Okay, so then research. Okay, so once you know who they are, you can then send out like deeper market research. So something else that I teach in Holistic Marketing Academy is how to do this kind of market research by like developing a survey that then you can put out to your audience that's going to tell you some more of those key details about what motivates them, what makes them tick. But it's not like there's like 100 ICAs out there that you like have to choose from and they're like in these categories. It's like it's really coming up with your own person, your own avatar that's unique to you and your business based on the people that you see. And then the more marketing that you do, the more that you work with clients, you'll see that these either other common threads start to come up that you're like, oh, and all of my people kind of say this. They keep repeating those same problems to me, or they had that fear or that doubt. And it's honestly just by doing more marketing and having more conversations that you end up being able to like refine it that much more. But sending out an actual form as like a one-time research activity and then being able to collect that information, highly recommend.
Okay. The next question, I'll just combine these two because they're very similar. So do we have to post IGTV and Reels in addition to photo posts to boost exposure? And can you explain the difference between Reels and IGTV?
Yes. So I'm sorry, was the first one IGTV? Can you repeat it?
Yeah. So it's, do you have to post IGTV and Reels in addition to photo posts to boost exposure? And then the second was just asking what they were, the difference was.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's paint a picture here. The Instagram feed, the main feed, encompasses posts, videos, which are like posts, IGTVs, and Reels. But Reels also operates in its own feed, okay, that exists. So Reels are shown in the main feed, and then Reels has its own feed over here, which like if you go on Instagram, you know like when you just get into like that TikTok scroll where like you're just looking at Reels and it's full screen, it's because Instagram Reels exists on its own feed as well. So just keeping that in mind. It goes in there, but it's also its own, which is where the Reels magic happens. So if you want to like significantly boost your reach right now, I highly suggest using Reels, because Reels is right now directly competing with TikTok to try and like keep its users. And so what happens is when social media platforms are new, you grow very quickly because it's trying to build a fan base. So that's why people on TikTok, you know, we had like all these TikTok stars seemingly overnight. So Instagram, to compete with TikTok, is like, let me release this new feature and let me also bring back organic growth so people don't, you know, quit and go to TikTok. And so right now we have an opportunity to like use that viral growth from Reels, which is going to be, I'm projecting, is temporary, because we see this happen with social media algorithms. The new thing is the thing that gets you the cookie, which is more followers. So the difference with Reels versus posts versus IGTV is that it's just a slightly different format. The Reels will operate in its own feed and therefore has the potential to reach so many more people. And the difference between IGTV is that it actually, like, it was on its own feed and then it was combined, which is a minor detail, but it's not actually that different. So the main use of IGTV now is that when you go live, you can save it to IGTV, and it's a way to share long form video on YouTube, on Instagram, because Reels only go up to 60 seconds. And when you post a video in your feed of like, you know, just like you would go to post a photo post, if you post a video instead, it can only go up to 1 minute. So mainly it's like, how long is the content? Oh no. Am I back?
It's okay. I just stopped sharing your screen because it was just like your desktop. So
Okay. Okay.
I just took it off. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So yeah, so essentially you want to look at the content length, because that's going to basically be the main thing that dictates where you post it. But in terms of maximizing your reach, I would say definitely focus like on posting for your feed. Focus on posting Reels first, like, and then like a photo post or something else that might be like highly shareable, like quotes or memes or something like that. But definitely you want to include Reels if you can. They're not for everyone, but honestly, like if you don't have to like dance and stuff like everyone does on TikTok or whatever. Like there's lots of people who do different styles, and I actually love to look at TikTok for Reels inspiration. So if you're someone who's like, I don't know what to post on Reels, one, book a free marketing assessment call with me, and two, look on TikTok for massive inspo, because there's just great content being posted there.
So the next question is about scheduling. So it's asking, what are your favorite scheduling apps? And does scheduling on Instagram have any impact on the algorithms?
Yeah, so Instagram came out and said that it doesn't have an impact on the algorithms. So the thing that you want to do here is make sure that you're using someone who is an authorized third-party extension of Instagram, because that's basically when, yeah, everything is good on the back end and Instagram's like, yep, these people are legit and we have agreed to allow them to use their softwares to help you use our softwares better. So I personally use Planoly. Planoly, and I primarily like them because they're free and you can actually schedule and auto post up to 30 posts a month for free. So if you're posting every single day, that's free and that's awesome. You can save your hashtag group, so it makes adding hashtags super easy. You can set it to auto post. So yeah, like literally once you hit auto, or once you hit schedule, like it goes out on its own. You don't have, there's no push notification. So that's awesome. And then, so that's what I use personally. Later is another great one that comes highly recommended. That'd be my second choice. And then my third choice is the Facebook Creator Studio. So for those of you who don't know, Facebook was like, hey, I'm tired of you guys using all these other platforms to do something I can do, which is in typical Facebook fashion. And so they actually created a scheduler natively within the app, within facebook.com. So you can look up the Creator Studio, and you can actually, that's the only tool that allows you to schedule IGTVs. So you can actually schedule and auto post your long form video content on there as well, which is great for repurposing off like YouTube or anything. Just for anyone who's maybe doing some cross posting there.
Okay, next question. What would you say is the minimum amount of posts a week?
Honestly, like I said, 2 at minimum of like, and I would stand behind that if they're high quality. Because the thing with Instagram too is now content is having a little bit of a longer lifespan, and we're seeing that especially with Reels. So a lot of people who are going viral with Reels, their Reel actually doesn't go viral for 2 to 3 weeks after they post it. So your content can have a longer shelf life, aka it can last longer. And so if you can focus on creating that higher quality content that is going to get the more engagement, so those are things like, excuse me, just really valuable posts, trendy reels that have good transitions. I call it edutaining content. It's like educating and entertaining at the same time. But that kind of content is, oh no, did I lose you? No, you're back. We were frozen for a little bit. But yeah, I think that answered the question. I'm like blanking now. Minimum 2, but would recommend 3 to 4 if you can swing it. We're just having some technical difficulties.
Okay, I think I'm back.
You got
Yeah?
it.
Okay, we're just going to ask a couple more here because we are running short on time. But what email automation service do you use on your website to capture clients when offering freebies?
I recommend Flowdesk, Flodesk, and DM me for a code. You can lock in 19 bucks a month for that for the rest of your life. It's awesome. But I also recommend ConvertKit.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. This is a question. It says, do we need to book an assessment first to then be able to get the workshop?
Or for the program offer, so you don't need to book a call to be enrolled. If you want, I would just just DM me on Instagram, and like we'll figure it out, because some people enroll without assessment calls. Well, they do it all the time, but if you did want to chat more, see if it's right for you, all of that stuff, or if you're interested, then book the assessment call.
Perfect. And the last question we have time for today is, how important is your profile bio information?
So important. I didn't get a chance to talk about this, but this is something that we have a whole module on in Holistic Marketing Academy. And yeah, people coming to your profile, that's their first impression of who you are and what you do. And so it needs to be top notch if you want to get more people who visit following. And if there were any other questions, Rachel, maybe, I don't, if you guys are still here, maybe if they're your questions and we didn't get to them, please DM me on Instagram, because I'd be more than happy to send you a personalized voice note of them after. Or maybe Rachel, you can send them to me and I can actually make like a quick video for the rest of the attendees or something.
Absolutely, for sure. I'll definitely follow up with those. But yeah, so we just want to wrap up this presentation with saying thank you, Katie, for being here with us today. So, and we also truly appreciate all the attendees for taking the time to join us. So another quick reminder, you will receive a copy of this recording as well as any additional resources we can provide after the event. And you can also find all of the webinars on fullscript.com/webinars. So yeah, thank you again, everyone, and we hope to see you next time.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.